I recently put out a post on X asking who wants me to take a look at their channel. And one of the first people to reply was a guy by the name of Jesse Enkamp. Now his channel has over 1 million subscribers and recently he uploaded a video that had only 1/10 of the normal views. So we're going to take a look at this video and identify why it performed so badly on his channel. It's a video by the name of Martial Arts Charades, which has 65,000 views versus his normal 800,000 views. Let's get into it.
Today I'm playing Martial Arts Charades with Sensei Seth, Icy Mike, and Kevin Lee. Who's first?
I'll go first.
Okay.
Don't know how to play charades.
Okay, perfect time to stop already because we have our first major mistake right off the bat. That major mistake is that the viewer doesn't have a clue what this video is really about or how the video is going to work. If we take a look at the first initial sentences, we can see that he says, today we're playing martial arts charades with Sensei Seth, Icy Mike, and Kevin Lee. The problem is what we've done is we've introduced the title of the video, so we've confirmed the idea. We've introduced who is part of the video, which questionable whether that's important right now, but we have not established the rules. We have not established what is charades or how does it work. And we have not set any goal to like, okay, the winner gets this or the loser gets this. So there's no punishment or no reward. I would be to change this video or this intro, the way that you should have approached this actually in this case, is we do the confirmation of the title. Perfect. Today we're playing martial arts charade, that's fine. Then we should say, okay, so we're going to be working with a point system. Everybody gets a cue and you have to reenact this cue, and if people guess it, you get a point. Whatever the rule is going to be. And at the end of the video, whoever has the most points wins X. And X can be silly, like it can be title of the best charade master, that's fine. Or it can be like wins $10,000, that's also fine. Whatever reward it is, as long as there's a reward or a punishment. But now we have nothing. The other thing that I also want to mention here is that even though we introduce these people, let me ask you a question because I know most of you will not be familiar with any of these names. Who of them is Sensei Seth? Oh, I don't know. Who of them is Kevin Lee? I don't know. And who of them is Icy Mike? I don't know. The problem is here we don't know that one. Even though we say it, we don't know that one unless we know these people. So in order to do that, we have a fix. And I assume that these are YouTubers, so what I would do is this. Above each of their names, we put a text box. And in this text box, we have the name and the subscriber count. Now the viewer is able to not only understand who is who, but also connect the face with the name rather than just hearing names and not knowing whose name is who. So those were the first two big mistakes initially in the intro. Let's continue.
I'll go first.
Okay.
Don't know how to play charades. I've never played my whole life.
Me too.
I'm really good at games like this.
Here we go.
I wanted to stop right before we saw this, so I'm gonna hide this. I'm gonna hide this so you can't see this yet. A few more mistakes we saw here. First of all, we have some weird camera movement, right? The camera zooms in here onto him and we cut mid-zoom, which makes the cut very jarring. As you can see here, we are zooming in and mid-zoom we're cutting to another close-up and it's too much. By the way, a good zoom here is, if you're doing handheld zooms, be zoomed out, zoom in, stabilize, cut off the stabilization. That's the best way to do it. Not cut mid-zoom. Then we have some personal comments right here. Let's listen to them again.
Don't know how to play charades. I've never played my whole life.
Well, neither does the viewer. So first of all, it's a personal comment, but they don't understand the rules and the viewers don't understand the rules. So how are we supposed to follow along when we don't know how it works? Then the next thing I wanted to critique is the fact that at the beginning of the video we started with music and now we had some dead silence. Take a look at the beginning of the video.
Today I'm playing Martial Arts Charades with Sensei Seth, Icy Mike, and Kevin Lee.
That's a good one. Right? We have some music to start of it. It starts hype, and then
I'll go first.
Okay.
guess what?
I play charades. I've never
Silence.
played my whole life.
Me too.
I'm really good at games like this.
Here we go.
Okay.
Now, it's not necessarily a horrible thing, but here there was no reason to have that silence. We could do a little bit of a drum roll. We could have music like boom, boom, boom. Something that just brings emotion to the scene. Because here it is so keen on people getting bored, especially with that silence as nothing is happening. And then let's take a look at this text here. A taekwondo guy splitting his pants. Well, this is a problem here because I know that this is not going to show for long. Let's take a look.
Okay. I got it.
Exactly. I knew this. I knew this was going to happen. The reason why is because this happens so often. So the problem here is that we are showing this to the viewer, but we're not saying it. And that makes it that now for the viewer to get this, they need to read. Reading is really bad for retention. The viewer's like, a taekwondo guy splitting his pants. And now they have to then think about this before they can see how it happens. So a few things I would fix here. One, to make it easier for the viewer to understand this sentence, I would say it in the microphone and have it read like, okay, so a taekwondo guy splitting his pants. So you're reading it, or you're saying it as the people in the video so that the audience can follow along a lot easier. Then number 2, we also make sure to add a little bit of a pre-visualization of what this looks like so the viewer gets what we're trying to show. The viewer already knows what the prompt is, so just trying to guess what it is not going to bring that curiosity, but seeing how he performs or how close he is to the actual thing is what's going to make it interesting. So that's a very nuanced one, but it's very important. Let's move on.
Okay.
What was that reaction cam for? We cut so fast. So we had a reaction cam here that we quickly cut to. But guess what? Take a look at which parts of the screen are their faces. We have here, here, and here. And the rest is all not necessary. None of their body language is needed. So we should have had a shot here that was probably, we want to first of all put them closer together. There's no reason why there's an empty seat here. Put them closer together, 3 next to each other, and that way we can go closer onto them so we can focus more on their facial reactions. And if there's no facial reaction, which is actually happening here, they're just smiling, don't even go for the reaction cam yet. Show the reactions when there is a reaction.
Taekwondo dude. Kickboxing. Taekwondo karate. Kick in the butt.
A few weird decisions here. I knew that I was going to have to pay attention because I saw some mistakes earlier with camera, but here again, we need to be looking at his feet. But the issue is I can't see his feet, I can't see his legs, I can even not see half of the other hand. And the reason why is because the camera person was filming way too close when the camera person should have been standing back and allow us to see the entire body. Because that's the point of charades. We are looking and observing the entire body. We're not looking at a close-up angle of somebody where half of the important stuff is out of frame. The next issue that we have going on here is that the camera is, or the reaction camera here is hiding the foot. So here, a very easy fix, right? Put this reaction camera in the top left corner as a reaction. And then, also another thing, I'm not sure if you've paid attention. Do you see the timer here? So where do you think the viewer now has to focus? I didn't even notice until literally I saw it and I was like, wait a minute. You have to focus on Jesse himself, the 2 guys. There's a big gap between. The guy doing the charades, which is at a totally different place in the video. And then the timer itself. There's too many focus points here. It's too hard to interpret. Also, I would give this a little bit of a border. So basically, put this up top left, put the timer under that reaction camera so we can easily swap between the timer and the reaction cam, and then have the person doing charades. And now we have everything nicely visualized. This will make it so much easier for the viewer to follow along.
Taekwondo dude. Kickboxing. Taekwondo karate. Kick in the butt. Taekwondo guy who.
Oh, I thought that was...
Who pulled
A
a
little
hand.
jarring that we swap to a full cam, then we take away the reaction cam, then we bring it back in just because they're gassing, and it feels like the way that we cut things are very random, making it very difficult to follow.
Pull the hamstring.
Pull groin.
Who's
Kick in the.
hole in the pants? Mark. All right.
Yeah, there we go.
Okay.
Oh,
here we go.
I didn't rip my pants. I actually
So I like the fact that, you know, whenever we win, we have sound effect, we have the green mark and the 1 point, that's great. Now let's take a look, because this is where I feel like we're gonna mess up. So let's take a look at what happens after this 1 point and see how we deal with this 1 point.
I actually thought you ripped your pants.
That's how good I am at.
For the first at first I actually thought you legit pooped yourself.
All right.
Wait, haha, there you go. Now we've got it. I knew that this was going to happen. I just had a suspicion there because we were forgetting a lot of information. We're forgetting to give the viewer the information. And since earlier in the video there wasn't a clear scoring system, we are going to miss a scoring system. So right now we got 1 point. But what's the scoring system? Where is the leaderboard? What are these points important for? This is where we had to be very sure that we needed to establish a clear point system. That's the first thing that was a mistake here. So the second thing here is that throughout this whole bit, once we are done with it, no time do we address the viewer. We're not talking in the middle, talking to the viewer and making them feel connected to the video. We're just kind of looking at people, having some fun with each other. They're not talking to the viewer. They're even looking to the side and giving a lot of commentary. That's not a really great thing here to do. Connect with the viewer, especially in these type of videos. Connect in between your bits.
All right.
Oh, Bruce Lee. Yes!
Who was first? Bruce Lee.
Oh wow. Okay, so here they have the 3 together. Here we realize like, oh, you know, but that's probably because Jesse was sitting away from the others and this is his seat now. So this makes complete sense.
Yes! Who was first? Bruce Lee.
I think I had it a little
I think
bit.
he was a little
Okay.
faster.
1 point to set. Let's go.
1 point.
Again, we have the point system once more, but now another person got a point, but we don't know, we've already forgotten, wait, who had that first point? Or who had the second point? What's the comparison to each other? We're missing that. We're missing the whole point here. So what I'm going to do right now is, because I feel like based on what I'm seeing, right, we got a one, we get a second one. My suspicion is that we don't really have anything different anymore. I think this is going to be it. So what we're going to do is now, I'm going to see, is there a round system? Does it change? Or is it just the same old until the end of the video? And then we're going to judge. So I'm going to probably speed this up if there's nothing interesting. If there's something interesting, I'll pause. I am 4 minutes into scrubbing through this video and nothing has changed yet. Typically what you want to see from a video like this, which gets repetitive after a while, and this is gonna probably, if you would look at this retention chart, I'm quite sure it's steadily going down, for sure. And the reason why is because people are getting bored, because there's nothing changing. There's no round system. There's no like, oh, round 1 we do charades like this. Round 2 you have to do it blindfolded. Round 3 you have to use only one foot. There's none of those limitations. So there's nothing intriguing about this video, which makes it very, very easy to get bored. Now I am noticing something new here. It's something changed. So we're going to take a look at this change and see if there's something we can learn from.
Really? That was supposed to be a Master Ken impression, just here.
Okay, so what happened is somebody probably just did an impression of this guy and now this guy is reacting to it. It's like a fun little bit if you know the guy. However, it does stall the content. So as a comedic bit, that's going to be fine. I'm not going to say it isn't, but that's the most variation we've had so far, which is not that good. A comedic moment shouldn't be the variation that we have. The variation should be within the system of how we build our content. Let's get back to scrubbing. So I've reached kind of the end, it seems. We've got about 40 seconds left. And so far I've still not seen the score system, no significant changes. It's just the same old, which makes it very boring as an experience for viewers. So let's take a look at how we round up this video and see if there's any big mistakes being made there.
That's it. I probably won.
Thank you so much.
I definitely won.
You won or he won?
Well, we can all agree Kevin lost.
Wait, what? Even we didn't know who the winner was because we didn't keep track of points. That's not how this game is supposed to go. We focused on loser here, and then there's not even a punishment for the loser here. So we are missing the whole reason why we would get excited to cheer for somebody. Why do we want one person to win or the other person to win? That was a super abrupt ending. Now, again, I do see that there's still 30 seconds left, so maybe there's some change going to happen, but that was a really weird ending here. We need to have a clear understanding of who wins and who loses and a natural, satisfying ending, not just like this, that. Plus, we didn't even talk to the audience. I'm so lost here at the end. So we need to have a clear ending that talks to the viewer, announces winner, loser, punishments.
Hi, my name is Jesse Enkamp, and today I'm going to teach you karate using an American accent.
Okay, so we have a little bit of an outtake, that is fine. I am confused where the other 20 seconds are gonna be, because if I'm scrolling here, I can already see that it's just this guy again. So it's like a 30-second outtake, which is way too long. Like, no, just briefly, bam, quick outtake, move on. Don't have a 30-second outtake, especially for a YouTube video. The video is over already. So, to round up with some focus points how this video should have been improved. Number 1, it should have been clearly explained how the video is going to work, what charades is, how it works, what are the round systems, what is the scoring system, etc. 2, it's very important to have a scoring system to keep things on track, to understand who's winning and who's losing. Make sure that this video presents more than just the same old, but then a different charade. Make sure there's different rounds with different limitations or different timings, etc. 4, the visual organization of our elements was quite messy. Sometimes I also hear people talk over each other, so overall things tend to be very messy, which is not that good. And 5, we need to make sure to not connect with the audience and then 5 seconds later we never talk to the audience again and it's just us looking as if we're seeing friends play in the sand and we're just there standing awkwardly by doing nothing. Keep connecting with the audience. So, all in all, I believe that there's enough we have identified to understand why this video underperformed. And that was another wrap up. See you next time.